kind of good morning. It's kind of later in the day. Was not able to trade the open. The open was awesome. Where is the open? Right. Couldn't have been clear right here. You had a down confidence arrow and this thing just pumped straight down. Huge move. Huge move. But now it seems like we're turning around. So I got my eye on going along here. We have bright green candles. Bright green is your strongest upside data candle. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Green is your second strongest upside data candle. And then pink, if you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. So the Maverick AI Pro is coloring your candles to the data, not to price and direction. So I'm looking at this. We got a green background. The bulls are in control. Starting to get bright green candles here, which is telling us that the data is starting to heat up to the upside. We got an A+ setup on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar. Maverick Radar is going through our entire checklist. Okay, entire checklist to say, hey, do we even have a setup? It's going to grade each one of these things. Then it's going to give you an overall grade right here. And right now it's saying you got an A setup to the upside. You'll either have no setup, a B setup, or an A setup. Okay, we call it an A+ setup. We just don't have the plus in there because it would be too many symbols in there and it kind of looks confusing. So we're starting to turn on the data of this candle to bright green, which is your strongest upside data candle. All 5 traders, these are algorithms, but think of them as traders. T1 through T5, think of them as traders, and they're trading across 6 time frames. And right now they're all voting bullish across 6 time frames. They vote every single tick, okay? So if I put you in the room with 5 other traders, how cool would it be to know their vote every single tick across 6 time frames? So you can change these time frames to whatever you want. You can add a 7 time frame if you want. I mean, I don't know how many charts you want to look at, but gosh, instead of looking at, 6 charts on your screen, why not have the Maverick Multi-X right here, just kind of serving that up, okay? Again, you have an A+ setup to the upside. You're starting to get bright green candles. You can see this thing wants to pop up. And then the Maverick trender has been pegged to the top all the way back since here. Huge move. We call these flat tops. See this? Flat top. Right off the open, you had a flat top, and this thing came. Huge profitable move. Flat top from here to here. Can't go any further. Here's your flat top from here down to here. Okay? Huge move. So feels like this thing wants to pop up. Now, the Maverick Zones, which is out now on TradingView, will be out in Ninjatrader in the next couple of weeks. All our indicators in the Ultimate Edge bundle, the majority of everything you're seeing here works on Ninjatrader and TradingView. The Maverick Zones is auto-drawing your support and resistance zones by probability. We've created all these probability scores of where support and resistance zones should be, where those orders are. And then as you get closer, it gives you this probability score. Right now, this is a 70 score. Anything less than 90% is fair game for breaking. Anything greater than 90%, ooh, it's like a brick wall. Like if we were coming up here and we hit this, and this was, let's say this was a 90 or 96, we'll say, this thing would come up, smash it, and come right back down. I mean, it's like a brick wall. Now, does that happen every time? No, there's no absolutes in trading. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because we could, this is Friday, we could get hung up on this zone right here. Even though it's a weaker score, it's still a zone. Still needs to be respected. So we're going to wait. You guys know I sit on my hands the first minute and the last minute of a 5-minute turn. I believe there's massive market manipulation the first minute and the last minute of a 5-minute turn. That's why we made the Maverick Atomic Clock, which will be in the toolkit that's coming out in a couple of weeks on NinjaTrader. That's why we made this red. So it's just to, wake your eyes up on what time it is and to not trade or try not to in that time. Now it's completely up to you. You do what you want, not financial advice. Do your own research, but this is just my preference. You can turn this on and turn it off if you want. So pretty cool. So second bright green candle heading into a weak zone. You have an A plus setup. Maverick Trender has been pegged this entire time, all the way since back here. Okay, here's my tester. Get into 1. All right. And, oh, we're in 2. Whoops. All right. I try not to put my account number on the internet, and then through that, I couldn't see how many contracts I have there. So anyway, so that's okay. So we'll still have our stop loss. I would have gotten into 2 contracts anyway, so it is what it is. Let me move my stop loss up just a little bit because I'm already in 2 contracts, so I don't want to give it a ton of room. Okay, so this is a zone-to-zone game. This is a zone-to-zone game. You came up, you tapped this zone. You came down, there was a zone here. You came up, okay, coming up to this zone. The Maverick zones, when you break a zone, it goes away. Goes away. And I know these zones were here because I had multiple zones loaded on the chart. And now you're hitting this zone. And here's what can happen. Here's what can happen. We can break through the zone, or we can come back down. Maybe test the Maverick guide, this blue line. I'm trying to continue it. But we like to go short when price is below the blue line. We like to go long when price is above it. Long when price is above the blue line, short when price is above it. Long when price is above it, below it. Okay, you get the picture there. So we're gonna still get a little bit of resistance at this zone. Okay. And we have bright green candles. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen, which is telling me that my next target should be this zone right here. Now, this is a Friday. I know plenty of traders that have not traded a Friday in years. So, green background, bulls are in control. Bright green candles, your strongest upside data candle. A plus setup on the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick radar. Maverick Trender is not wavered. You have had this flat top this entire time and this uptrend label down here. Okay, we're moving into a weak zone. 62. What I tell you, anything less than 90%, we can absolutely break through. All right, so this is starting to push through. And sometimes you can see like bright green candle multiple in a row, and then the data just catches up and it pops. I think we had a trade like that. Was it 2 days ago or something like that? Where, yeah, it was crazy. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add 1 to my position, and that's it. I'm not gonna trade any more than that amount of contracts on a Friday. We're up about $300. Now, could I close it out right here and make $500? Yes. But this is a weak score right here. This is a very weak score. I would not be shocked if we can pop up and try and shoot for this next zone. How cool is it that we no longer have to draw our support and resistance zones and let the Maverick zones do it for us by probability, and then give us this probability score of price holding or breaking? Pretty stinking cool. Now we are getting into the last minute of the new 5-minute turn. Okay, so we have to be careful here. We got to be careful right here. Okay, so from 11:14 to 11:16, I'm going to be very cautious because I believe, again, the market makers try and throw off the retail trader the last minute on what they think the next candle will be. So everybody jumps in, and then once everybody's in, I believe this is where stop losses are grabbed, all this other stuff. So just pay attention to that yourself. You don't need this indicator for it. This is just going to be included in the toolkit that will be out in a couple of weeks for NinjaTrader. Okay. Oh, Maverick signals. I did not have this on. You got a buy signal way back here. I did not see that. I didn't have it on. Sorry about that. So what another cool feature about this toolkit is you can turn on and turn off certain indicators. So pretty cool. News. I don't know if we had news this morning. We had meetings all morning, so I didn't look. Here's your news. So no events, no events the rest of the day. The Maverick News will pick up all the news events for the day that could affect the futures market. Okay, so we'll turn that off. Okay, so pretty cool. I like getting this buy signal right here. You can see the market has been pretty choppy. But man, you had a beautiful sell signal right off the open. Look at this. Boom, this thing dumped. This is a huge move. I have it, my chart squinched pretty good. This is a huge move on ES. We still have our A plus setup to the upside. Maverick Trender has not stopped being pegged. Love that. And then all 5 traders are still bullish across 6 time frames. You got your uptrend label down here. And what I say, I mean, we're gonna hit friction. This is a real zone. Just because it has a weak score doesn't mean there's not orders here to be filled before it can move to the next level, right? Okay, so we're gonna hit some friction here. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna leave my chart up, okay, and we're gonna keep watching this thing because we could go sideways for a minute. We're about to get into lunchtime on Wall Street. It's a Friday. It's summer. Everybody's gonna head to the Hamptons. Although today is the SpaceX IPO, so who knows what's gonna happen? But with all the tweets and stuff coming out about, anyway, so we're going to keep our eye on this score. We're going to keep our eye on this zone. We'll probably hit friction. Price will probably get hung up and then continue to the upside. Okay. We still have our A plus setup on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, the Maverick Radar. All 5 traders are still voting bullish across 6 time frames. How stinking cool is that? That's what gives me the confidence to stay in this trade. Okay. So all our indicators work on NinjaTrader and TradingView. The Maverick Zones is out now on TradingView and will be available on NinjaTrader in the next couple of weeks here. And we'll send an announcement out to that. Oh, and here we go. I'm going to close it out if we hit 1,000. And come on, baby. I just need a little bit more. And it wants to pop through this weak zone. This is a weak zone. Okay. And hopefully we can hit this 1,000 before we get into the turn of the 5-minute candle when our timer turns red. But we'll see. Like I said, we could hit friction here because this is a real zone. Even though it's a weak score, you got a zone right here. Okay. All right. Up confidence arrow. I love seeing that. We have an up confidence arrow that keeps popping in. Oh, I didn't get the full 1,000, but we got about 987 bucks. 987 bucks. I was trying to wait for it to go over 1,000. You saw I hit $1,012, and by the time I hit the button, it was 987. But most likely, we're going to keep moving up. But about $1,000 is, that is an example of a very good trade. Okay, bright green candles this entire time. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. We had a buy signal right here. A plus setup on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, the Maverick Radar, going through our entire checklist of everything we look for in a trade. Breaking through a weak score, and look, it's keep pushing. I definitely would have gone over my 1,000 at this point. That's okay. We'll $12. I'm not going to cry about. All 5 traders voting bullish across 6 time frames. Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. We're going to get hung up here a little bit. Why? You're in the first minute of the new 5-minute turn. So listen, if you want some edge in the market, if you want clear vision on your charts, never financial advice, do your own research, never any guarantees in any market, of course. Okay, market can do anything at any time, but man, is this clear vision. Bright green candles, your strongest upside data candle, buy signal, weak zone. You just broke right through. All 5 traders voting bullish across 6 time frames. An A+ setup. And by the way, your Maverick trender down here has been pegged ever since here all the way up to here. That is an insane move on ES, okay? And we're probably going to get some retracement because look at the time. You're within the first minute of the new 5-minute turn, all right? So listen, if you want edge in the market, if you want some clear vision on your charts, we would love, look at it take off now that we're out of that first minute of the new 5-minute turn. We would love to help you crush it, okay? Come check us out. MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.